Thank you so very much for coming to see my new slideshow. I'm very honored that you're all here, and I hope everybody's holding up okay through these really pretty crazy times for all of us. And I think one of the reasons why I love spirituality so much, ITC, all that we do, is because the world is so in so much chaos, so often, that life on earth, if I did not understand that there was an invisible world that interpenetrated the one that we live in, that might make sense one day out of things that don't make sense, or that there is a greater meaning, even if it's still a mystery. If I didn't know about that invisible world, I would be less happy. I would be less content. I would be less at peace. And I also want to say before, so many of you don't know me. I see so many people, and I'm so honored you're here. You may wonder, well, why did EVP, why were you able to get going so quickly with it? Or why are you getting these orbs that you're going to see? And these other light images, of which I don't even know what to call them, but we can talk about that later. And people say, why? And I want to simply say that I have a very friendly relationship with spirit. I didn't start getting into this when my son passed in 2008. I started when I was 20, and I'm going to be 70, so it's a lot of years. I'm going to share the screen here now, and that's my shared screen. But what I want to say is that to all of you who don't know me or know anything of my history, I was the biggest non-believer in all these things of anyone you'd ever known. I really thought that people like us were deluded or just plain stupid, but I really was a very big non-believer until after many, many years of illness, 4 years of serious illness with Crohn's disease, leading to hepatitis C from blood transfusions for Crohn's. After 4 years of being the biggest agnostic atheist, just going to medical doctors, when they felt they could do no more, desperation paved the way for me to reach out to this incredible man, Harry Edwards, who is now in spirit and my guide. And Harry was a spiritual healer who worked with doctors in the spirit realm and directed them to me. And when I was 20, I was hit with an energy so beyond anything I ever knew, so uplifting, so fulfilling, and all the blood tests and all the illness began to reverse. And it was then that I woke up to realize there was much, much more to this world than we can see. And I have loved Harry ever since then. So I think in part, the reason may be that I am not, I know spirit's real, and I look at them as real people, and I'm not afraid to turn on the recorder and see what I'll get anymore. I feel very safe with spirit, and I love spirit, and maybe that's part of that piece that has helped me. But after I was healed by Harry, my interest was in spiritual healing and mediumship, but I also raised a family, and out of the 3 children I adopted as babies, my second child, Danny passed of an overdose. I would imagine you can see this picture of him where he's older, but it's covered on my thing. Danny passed in 2008. So naturally, at that point, my interest became not only in the healing end, but really the mediumship end, and could I contact my own child? Could I still have a relationship with him? And so I'm going to get into what I call lights, cameras, action with my little dog, Lily, in a little bit. But before I do that, I wanted to show you 3 video clips that were made shortly after Danny passed. They're not the orb ones. They're ones that show us what spirit can do with electricity. Because I believe they're like little spark plugs now. They just do such incredible things. Now, what you're looking at is a little cul-de-sac where we lived when our boys, Aaron and Danny, were growing up. And a couple weeks after Danny passed, Aaron went up to the old neighborhood just to walk around. And this is over here on this arrow, this is an overhead street lamp that is very high up. None of us could reach it. None of us control it. it goes on at night. It's a town light that goes on at night when the lights come out. So you will watch, keep your eye on that light. Now keep your eye right there.
Put it back on, Dan.
Put it back on, Dan. There you go. So Danny started doing things with lights very, very early on. This was the 6-8 months after he passed. I had this on my night table. I was sleeping, the light was out, and my dog just sat up in bed and started barking, and then the light went on. So I turned it off, and it kept flashing. So I pulled the plug out, and it flashed twice again. So watch this.
Okay, let's turn the light out and see if he's going to flash again.
Watch right up here. Keep your
Just
eye
keep
here.
looking in that direction. The light was just turned off by me. Tonight it seems to be going on by itself, flashing again. Let's see.
Oops, didn't mean to do that.
There, that was it. Just flashed on.
Just went once, and you'll see it one more time.
Let's see if we can get it again. It's really something else. Hasn't done it for a number of nights. And now here we go again.
There you go. You might have seen that green flash. Now this one's quite amazing. This is the hallway, the front hall of our apartment in the city. This is a night light, but it's controlled by light. So at night it would go on when it got dark. During the daytime, it was never on. One day I'm walking down the hall, it's bright, sunny midday, and I see it's on. So I thought, well, if it's on by Danny, let me see if I can ask him to turn it off. So check this one out.
Okay, we're going to make a video, show everybody what you can do, Dan, okay? So, turn it off, Dan. Turn it off. Turn it off, Dan. Turn the light on. There you go. Okay, can you put it back on? Whoa. You are the best, Danny boy. Oh, God. Look at that light. Thanks, baby boy. I love you.
So that was my realizing that they really could do a lot with electricity. And I guess that's why we'll often hear about lights going on and off and all of that kind of stuff. But I had never been able to, I'd never been a person who photographed orbs. I could be with a friend, we'd both take the same picture, she'd have an orb and I wouldn't. And one night I was looking across the street to my older son, Aaron's building. This is his apartment right here, although we're all out of the city for a while now. And I saw this enormous ball. So I grabbed my camera, but it moved very quickly, but I made a video of it for you to see. It takes a minute because I was videoing the video I had made spontaneously when it, so there it goes. And it kept hovering over his brother's apartment, which was interesting. But then, and this is why, and Sonia, I'm so honored that Sonia is here. I do want to tell you people that Sonia is my muse. She is my inspiration. Because of the work that she started doing so many years ago, I got interested. I learned about EVP through Craig and told me all about Sonia's work. And now I'm getting addicted to working with the images, because when you see what Sonia can do, you just want to do it yourself. So Sonia says that Lily, who's my new baby, who I met in October when I brought her home, Sonia says that Lily's the medium, because what started happening was I would be in bed at night and Lily sleeps in my bed and she would just start barking. So I would get up and I'd say, well, all right, if she's barking, she must see something I don't see. So I put on the video. Now, if you watch, you're going to see orbs shooting across that hallway there that leads to the bathroom. And then I shot the other side of the room to see what she was barking. I would look at the direction she was barking, and you'll start to see a whole bunch of them. But they go by so quickly, it's hard to sometimes catch them all. So what I did was I took a still shot. I took the video that's on my computer and I took my phone and I moved it frame by frame and made a video of that so you could see these orbs come on down. They're just all over the place. So I became concerned because I thought, well, enough, there's no more orbs, Sheri, move on. So I thought to myself, oh boy, you know, here's two still shots of some of those orbs you just saw. I thought, boy, you know, if they keep her barking all night, am I going to get any sleep? So I just said, guys, you're really welcome here, but if Lily can't sleep, I can't sleep. So please, you know, I will run the video. I'll get footage, and I promise I'll show it to people if they want to see it. But please do not, after we got enough footage, would you just stop, you know, getting Lily all riled up? So after I'd filmed for a while, she'd curl up in a ball and go to sleep. And I'd say, all right, thank you, good, because this could have been a disaster. I mean, it was great because they stopped. Now, this is my bathroom, which is just down that hallway, and sometimes I would get smaller ones. Sometimes they're huge, and they really like my bathroom. I have a lot of orbs in that bathroom. Here's more of them. I love this one because it's such a pretty color, but I think it's just their way of, it's my friend Anne Poirier, we did an EVP reading for her. She gets many orbs, and her son came through and said, I am not an orb. It is our way of showing you we're there. And I thought that was a great, you know, because we always go, well, is that Danny? You know, and what he expressed to his mom is that we can make that happen. It doesn't mean that that's me, but we can make it happen, and it's a way that we can evidence. And the fact is, I did not see this with my eye. I cannot see this with my eye. The camera sees it, but Lily sees it. And that's what's so interesting too, you know, that I like that one because it was kind of pink. But very interesting that when we realize that there are species of animals and many creatures that hear and see so much that we don't see. Why man got the idea that what he saw with his eyes and heard with his ears was the depth and breadth of the universe is really crazy and egocentric, because we're pretty blind, deaf, and dumb to the spirit realm, and it's right here within the realm we're in, I think, just a different vibration. Now, this was a very interesting night. First of all, everybody who sees these things that I'm getting also faces on this back wall. It's pitch black in the room, but when you put on the video, you know, the video puts on a flash. Flash hits the wall, and very often, different images, not the same. I mean, I don't know what's going on. It could be Ripley's, believe it or not, but some people see a face in there. But I want you to keep your eye right around here, because Lily was getting really upset. The bed's right here. It was right by me. It was like a ribbon of light went so quickly. And then I'll show you still shots of it, but keep watching over here.
What is it, knitting?
I call her knitting. This is orbs, but this is different. Did you see that? Did everybody see that ribbony thing running across the bottom? Well, Karen shook her head. If anybody wants me to play it again, I could, but I'll show you stills of it. Here is shots that I took of it when I went through it. And to me, this here looks like it could just be a number of orbs that have joined together. I mean, your guess is as good as mine, but I followed it through the video. So you see it went, and then it kind of like went back into the wall here. And there's another picture here. You see just a little tip of it. No, I don't know what it is, but it goes by. I'll play you the video. Just you watch over here. You're going to see this like ribbony. First the orbs. And then
What?
that thing. You know, I don't know what it is, but I'm sure it's not anything that's unfriendly. That made so many, all those different colors, the gradations of color is one. Maybe. Check this one out. I don't know what the hell this is, but the room is pitch dark. I'm trying to go to sleep. This little girl's looking at something. I put on the video and I see this.
What? Oh, all
It
right.
could just be
So
one
let me
big
see
orb.
you. Who are you? Talk to me.
I got a little nuts that night.
Talk to me. Come in and talk to me. What can I do to make this more visible? Come on in. Come on in for a landing. Come on, you're right here now over my bed. Who are you? This is astounding. Let me stop.
So the other one is similar. I can play it, but it's just the same kind of. It's the same type of thing. It was just this huge light
How do
that
I
she was
talk to you?
barking at.
How do I communicate? I mean,
I got nuts
I
that night.
see you,
like
I
I
know
said.
you're there, but I don't know how to communicate.
I think enough of that. Okay, so then what happened was, this all started happening. Oh, by the way, the house is all dark brown now. They were in the middle of painting some of the townhouses, but we're in the heart of New York City, and we have a little grandson and 3 grandsons. Two are with my other son. We wanted to get the kids out of the city at this time with COVID being as it is. And so my husband and I got a second home, a little townhouse up in Hastings-on-Hudson, where we used to live when the boys were young. And it's where my husband plays golf. It's on a golf course, kind of very, very quiet, very different than New York City. And I move up there and I think, oh, I wonder if they're going to follow me or if it's all over. A lot of people say to me, if you get a message from Bob, let me know. And I say, Bob's not around me, he's around you. I used to really think when I went to a medium that all my spiritual friends hung around the medium. And I finally learned and understood years later, no, they went to the medium because I went to that medium, and our people stay by us. They want to be in touch with us. So I was very nervous because little Desi, he was sleeping down here and I'm here. And I figured, oh no, this dog's going to wake up this 3-year-old and I'm going to be in trouble. So the first night I just decided to go out for a walk. And this is what I filmed on my video. Now, not exactly orb-like, but sometimes I get things that they look like capsules. So I was very happy. I went to the little back porch and these guys showed up. And I love when there's these pretty colors coming through. So I said, good. They followed me to the house. But I knew I wasn't going to be going out every night. I'm in the new bedroom. And I said, look, let me make a deal. I'll run the video. Please don't make Lily bark. So this is the new room, barely set up and show up. And there they are. And that's just a still of one in front of my little dresser. Now, this was weird. I was lying in bed one night and something flew by real quick. And then I took a still of it And here's another still of it. It is questionable to me if this is spirit or a gnat. Not that I thought there were any gnats in the bedroom, but I don't know. It has these like kind of strange, well, who knows? All I know is it was a strange thing that just went, and my camera picked it up. Moving right along, there it is again, more shots of it. I'm not quite sure if it's really spirit, could be. This I think is spirit, because I have not ever seen any gnats this big. Check this out, I'm lying in bed and I put on the camera, and actually this was so bright, I actually felt like I was watching through the camera and I see a light, but I felt it too. I felt heat, and I almost felt like it was not a bad feeling, but I almost felt like warmth around me, and almost felt like I saw light around the sides of the camera. It was this. I was kind of humming that thing. Now, this really interests me because here are shots of it, right? Still shots. It seems to have a shadow, right? I mean, it follows it. You know, I took it in a few different positions as it got higher up. Now, I don't know if that means it's a gnat and spirit can't have a shadow, or is it dense enough? I don't know what it is. I think I didn't see it with my eye, which is what makes me think it has to be spirit, because I could have seen it. I would have seen it with my eye, I would think, if I could have. I only saw it through the video. So again, it's also very interesting, but is that the video? Well, we'll move on. Oh, came back to the city for a weekend. We needed to get some more things. I went into the bathroom. And so again, you know, you see a lot of orbs that just flying around, which I think are just friendly presences letting me know they're there. And here's what I like to do is just take a still shot of the moving shots, because they go through so quickly. Now, we were in the city, and you know, orbs again in this bedroom, and I just took still shots of it as it passed over Lily's body. Started here, and it just kind of came down. Thought this was interesting because when it enlarged, and I may just be getting like what's called pareidolia crazy, but I see a little face in there. But you know, the mind can envision what it. It's very faint. I'm not saying I see a vivid face, but I see a little eye, a little nose, a little smile, a little hair. So you know, it's just interesting. That's all I can say. Oh, right. So now we're at the new house. Oh, this is really weird. I decided to go sit out on the front porch at night. And so I'm sitting out there, just sitting around. I see an orb or so too, and then something comes by. Well, you'll see. That's the little thing. And here I just made a video of that video just to show that one part where it comes down. Here's some shots of it in still. I don't know what it is. I can't be sure. Sometimes I see faces, but I think sometimes it's just that your mind begins to work that way. But it's pitch dark, and this thing just came shooting right in front of my camera. But this may have been one of the most fun of all. I come back from being away, and I think they were welcoming me back.
Thank you for this visit, for this shower. Oh, that's so wonderful. I've not seen anything like it. Thank you. Could you be the prayer registry children?
And then here is just some shots from that night. Sometimes they seem a little more, like shaped like this because they're in movement, maybe because I'm catching them in movement that they don't seem round. Maybe if it was a still shot, they would. But it was like stars and stripes forever. I mean, I just couldn't believe my eyes. They were all different colors, all over the place. And so this might even have a little very faint face, I don't know. But when people say, well, what's next? I think it's pretty much up to spirit, because I completed the slideshow. Then I see a few, but they're not doing anything quite as amazing. So I think that they want me to get back to my EVP readings. But I know that I will be also, what next for me is that, along with my work with the prayer registry and Karen and I helping to teach people how they do EVP, I will be trying to work with the images, because I am just fascinated with the concept that spirit will work with us to show even a picture of themselves as well as verbal communications.